earlier today, Wolverines fans got exciting news, Sam. Shea Patterson has decided to transfer from Ole Miss to Michigan, becoming one of the more talented players in the country. Now he's in Michigan's stable of quarterbacks.
Yeah, no doubt. And 2 years, 2 years after the fact, I'm sure that Michigan. I'm sure that Shea's family is saying that this is how they thought it would be, a few years ago. Because this is a kid that grew up a Michigan fan, Michigan blood coursing through his veins, and you consider, his family, their lifelong affinity for Michigan. But this was a must for Michigan. Let's remove Shea Patterson's name from the nameplate for a minute. Michigan was going to have to go out and get a grad transfer quarterback. So there's a lot of hand wringing over why does Jim Harbaugh have to go get another transfer quarterback? Well, you just lost any semblance of experience when Wilton Speight decided to transfer, and that was unexpected for Jim Harbaugh. I mean, he didn't want that to happen. As a matter of fact, and we'll talk about this later, I talked to Brandon Peters' dad, and he said Harbaugh told him point blank, initially we were going to pass on getting involved here because we had a stable of quarterbacks. But a week changes things. Wilton Speight transfers, Malzone leaves, another guy who, while he didn't play a lot, that's another quarterback with some experience in your fold. So those guys are gone. Are you suggesting, those that say, why are you going to get another transfer quarterback? Are you suggesting that Michigan go into the season with no experience behind your starter in Brandon Peters when you had a chance to help it? The answer to that question is obviously no. And they just happen to be able to get in on a transfer quarterback that is really, really good. A lot of times you got quarterbacks that might be, or grad transfers that are leaving a competitive situation. They're looking for something more advantageous. That's not the case with Shea Patterson.
All right, Michigan got their guy. They got the quarterback that every school in the nation would have taken, Patterson. Now they got him. He's a former #1 overall player at his position coming out of high school. What does he bring to the table? What is Michigan getting in Patterson?
It's improvisational skill. If you want to highlight one trait that describes him best, is improvisational skill. If a broken play was a play, that'd be his best play. Because when stuff breaks down, that's when Shea Patterson goes to work. Now, skill set wise, he's 6'1", 6'2", good arm, can make all the throws. But again, a guy that when the pressure bears down, he can escape. He can make plays with his legs. He can throw the football on the run. I think if you're looking at a ceiling, if you're looking at an upside, and he develops like a lot of people think he could, he's a Baker Mayfield type. A Johnny Manziel type, maybe a little bit taller, and maybe Johnny Manziel is a little more mobile in terms of his ability to run the football. Johnny Manziel was, talking about being a safety, so he might have a little more mobility. But this is a playmaker at quarterback. This is a guy that even with the major transition, and another thing we'll get into shortly, from the offense that he played in to the one that he's coming into now, he's a guy that's going to be able to come in and compete for the job, assuming he gets eligible from day one.
Well, Sam, you compared him to two former Heisman Trophy winners. I'm sure Michigan fans will take that. We're going to dive into that and more about the quarterback competition, Brandon Peters, Dylan McCaffrey, in our next video coming up. But that's going to wrap up video #1.